And we are live. Hello again, Twitch and YouTube, or whoever decides to watch this. This is Faceless Esper with more Cobblemon. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday currently is the open world games, primarily stuff like Minecraft, Terraria, Starbound, whatever. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the story-driven stuff. Just finished Inner Space here on Saturday with a final stream. And Saturdays are kind of just arbitrary streams. So next game up for on Tuesday is going to be Recompile. But today on Minecraft, we're working more towards trying to find a jungle or a mesa in order to get some of the stuff I want to use in order to make the look at Vespa Queen. In order to make the general building process for just all the different town buildings I want to do for this particular Let's Play actually viable in some fashion. Let's see here. Do another ember. I can probably catch the Vespa Queen. Or I can knock out the Vespa Queen. That works too. That's one way to get honeycomb. Okay. I've tried northwest, I've tried southeast. I suppose next to be north, south, northeast, southwest, probably. I'm going to say northeast now, since I've never been this direction at all. I want to get a jungle to get the jungle saplings to start working on that. I want to get a couple of acacia saplings so I can have those going too. I've got cherry already, oak and pine, and birch. Mostly I just want access to more colors and whatnot so that I can get better variety to things. I already know the Pokemart floor that I'm going to do. Maybe try to get a villager into. It's going to be kind of off-white, bluish-white if I can manage it, which might mean something on the lines of, like, maybe... No, I don't think so, though. One of the problems is that, like, copper blocks, like, especially, like, the cut copper, would work really well for a few things I want to do, but that requires so much wax to do that I'm not entirely sure I am up for it. May end up doing like Prismarine or something. Reading that ocean monument I found slowly over time. Although without like a bunch of milk, that's going to be pretty unviable. Might use just like warped wood and quartz or something. General description of what's going on here for this, for anyone who's new to any of this. Just the primary Cobblemon mod pack made by the actual Cobblemon devs. Locked in at, I think, the second to most recent version. I don't think it's reached third most yet. With a couple of extra Cobblemon mods made by the community for things like notifier for a shiny is spawned, a Pokenav to make it easier to track regional spawns in general. a berry to actual food mod that allows me to cook or otherwise prepare the Pokemon berries as actual food, and therefore make most of the standard Minecraft food kind of irrelevant. Need more person. Actually, don't think I need res either, really. I'm going to keep 3 of them. Angry Swallow. Don't actually have any Dark Oak yet. Let's get this guy up here in the middle. Yeah, the big thing is a vein miner mod, just because I have mined so much sand and gravel just to get the concrete I was using that it became a little bit unreasonable not to be using the vein miner just to get it over with faster. I started off without it and mined multiple stacks worth, and it was vaguely mind-numbing just sitting there mining block after block after block of sand or gravel, and then finding out that I didn't have enough and having to go back and do it again. So that is no longer a thing I have to care about, for the sake of really not wanting to care about it at all. Break down the extras, both of these. I don't care about the arrows. Put that away. You should mine a brown shroom as well. Oh, you're not actually hanging from the tree, you're on the vines, but that's actually really cute seeing this seed up just up in the air like that. Be mildly less cute if it was a pine cone, because those are just bombs. Happy bombs, but bombs nonetheless. Alright. Continue to the northeast. What's Paris? Run past all of the fire. So much fire. Fire that I'm jumping into. There we go. Brown mushrooms. Other thing is, I'm thinking about doing, well, cutting back on the Minecraft thing a little bit once I've got a few of the major goals done. So it goes from being 3 streams a week to being probably just 1, and taking up a more directly completable sandbox game for the other 1 or 2 streams. Maybe not something that has a dedicated like endpoint to it, but something where there's a little more visual progress. The idea of doing like Starbound with the Fracking Universe mod setup, which I'm currently messing around with when I'm not actively streaming. I was going to do RimWorld, except RimWorld just finally updated to 1.5, and like about 2/3 of the mod list I was working with did not, and I decided, you know what, we're going to hold off a bit and let everyone start updating things before I go back through and build around that again. The idea for that particular one was a colony built around the like one of the variants of the androids mod. Although with the new the two newer add-ons for RimWorld, there is now a potential for a default android race, which might be the better way to go for that. Let's see here. Skyla's the lowest level now. Like every kombi I've run into on this world has been male. Whereas on my non-streaming world for this, it has been almost solely females that I've run across. It is amusing, but kind of weird that it's been so very consistent. It at 1.20.1, I think it might be touching on that hard-coded RNG data through the seed, but I really should not have that consistent with luck either way. Wow, that did no damage. Neither did that. Okay. Oh. I guess that's him over. This is a very sturdy Vulpix. That's kind of concerning. I'm going to try to catch the Vulpix just because Ninetales, and who doesn't love Ninetales? Well, or I could just knock out the Vulpix. Sweet berries, which is another thing I didn't actually bother grabbing. It counts as 4. Let's not do that. Anywho, I wanted to do a RimWorld setup based around the androids thing because I find it kind of fun being the not necessarily soulless automatons, but just entirely mechanical beings trying to sum it up on a distant RimWorld without any sort of direct support from their home world, and just the idea of a bunch of robots running around trying to live on their own and interacting with humans in the sense that, oh hey, look, these things are made of meat, isn't that weird? Kind of way. Just seemed like it would be very fun. That's probably be held off for a while though. What else we got here? I got a couple of newer games that I'm thinking about streaming at some point. Those are all now saved to my log after they finally went on sale and I bought them. Ooh, hello. No. No spider. Look at spider eyes either. Not gonna deal with the zombies. Do I still have that boat on me? I have lost or put away my boat. Sure, I can just make another one, but that's bad. Run away. At some point, I'm going to get myself a capture card so I can do some PlayStation and Switch games on here. Pokemon playthrough, Metroid Dread playthrough, things like that. Nintendo's being a little bit hyper touchy at the moment about Citra and all the like. Which, I mean, I get it on the one hand. Modern systems being emulated is kind of iffy anyway. But they've also gotten really upset about the emulation of the systems they are currently basically taking off of their online stuff. Like the 3DS, which no longer has online support, which is like, if you're not actively going to be doing anything with it, people would like to still be able to play those games. And Nintendo and Ubisoft and a few other companies are like, oh no, once we don't want to want you playing our games because of arbitrary reason. We want you to lose them entirely because the idea of conservation of games is just apparently ridiculous to them. And I'm not happy with that. It's just games as a whole are like video games as a whole are a modern media thing, sure, but they're an entire art form. A kind of like, all the concepts that go into making a movie, into making music, into making art, into making stories in a way that's much more interactive than just, oh, sit there and blankly stare at a television for X number of minutes or hours. It is a fascinating thing to think about, and yet it's still treated like, oh, it's a child's thing, when it's like, yeah, there are childish things you can do with games. There are childish games, sure. But, ooh, hey, Pivot Joke, really needs that. But games as a whole are an art form, and should be considered as such, and not as just money-making trash. Or just how some companies seem to see it. Like, that's just depressing, you know? It's better than it used to be, sure. There was a point where, like Nintendo in particular, but gaming companies in general, were just like, oh, the creators of games shouldn't be, you know, recognized in any way. It should be just, oh, it was made by Nintendo, so it's a Nintendo game, instead of, this was a game, like, designed by Shigeru Miyamoto, with music by Koji Kondo, and all that stuff. Like, it would actually give credit to people. That was an issue, like, early on in games, and Nintendo's been really weird about it on occasion since, but that has improved, don't get me wrong. Just, now there's other issues of, oh, games as a service, oh, games as a, we made this, but we don't want you to keep having access to it, even though we made it for just the world in general. So we're gonna make it so that having it and doing anything with it is basically a crime, or at very least so frowned upon that they try to pretend it's a crime. Oh, they killed the zombie, or the villager. Yes, the villagers killed the zombie. That's how this works, right? No villager guards mod. Honestly, with how far I'm having to go in order to find a mesa and find a jungle, I may end up adding in like the Waystones mod or something. Probably with the experience cost added on or left on, since I've got to keep inventory going. Because I can barely play games to begin with, I might as well make it viable to actually progress in them. Which is part of the reason why I'm not doing like Lethal Company or anything right now, because as much as I like Lethal Company, I have no one to actively play it with on a regular basis, and without using like the, I forget what it was called. There are a couple of like basically progression or like maintainment mods. So like, oh, everyone's died, you keep whatever was already on the ship instead of losing everything, which is kind of necessary for solo player runs. Or the progression one I'm thinking of, which is like more Bibles or something like that, that makes it so that you can go from super baseline and slowly improve, and it just, there's a setting on it that lets you just keep things between resets. So even if you lose completely and get the you have to restart from the beginning, you keep the primary progression tied to that mod, which means that each time you go into it, you come out just a little farther ahead. And that's interesting to me. But also, horror games are kind of a lot less generally fun by yourself, and without a larger viewer base to kind of chat back to and be scared for. I'm not 100% in on the horror game thing, and without like other people to play with, Lethal Company and the like just doesn't feel as fun. play with my brother. I've tried to play with my sister, but she's very rarely actually available to play a game at all when I'm set up to play. So that's been its own kind of issue. Like, I have people I could play with. The vast majority of my friend group I have moved away from ages ago, and so I have like zero interaction with. Because I was always a bit of the wallflower to begin with, so the fact that I'm streaming now is really quite ridiculous. But, and I have like the siblings who I could potentially play with, but my brother's in another earlier time zone, only by like an hour, but still. Might actually be 2 hours, I need to double check that. And while my sister is still living with us, she is currently in college, which I have not been able to... Hey, Mesa. Wonderful. What? Did you kill me as soon as I find a Mesa? Here, burn. Sister is here, but she's in college and therefore is very often not available to do much of anything, which makes doing things like playing games together wildly difficult, as you might imagine. Don't care about that. I know I need to collect the honey. Light cable is fine. Acacia can go in there. Don't care about those. That's a little bit less ridiculous of an inventory. Oh, it's a sand shrew making noise. Okay. So I want to get a bunch of red sand, because red sandstone both look nice. So I'm going to say 3 stacks of red sand. And then a bunch of... yeah. Oh, I'm starving. And a bunch of the terracotta in various colors, or just a whole bunch of the basic color that I can then dye, which might be more convenient. Let's go with 3 stacks. Red sandstone as well. Loot this village just before I go off and grab the terracotta. No chest here. Hello. Paper for emeralds. Bane of arthropods is not interesting enough to go through. Break your legs. It's just Minecraft. It's just Minecraft things. Turn yourself into zombie. Dun, 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 dun. Actually can't think of a good rhyme to go with things. Hello. Wolf or emerald. Hi. You look large enough to eat me, Mr. Gribble. Let's see here. Nobody else seems to have any chests. Okay. More weasel. So, easiest option is just a bunch of regular terracotta. I think I'm just gonna go with that. So I can re-dye it whatever color I want. So There we go. Starving again. Yeah, probably gonna go ahead and add the Waystones mod between today and Wednesday. I may have added the Vein Miner mod literally midstream, but I feel like I should avoid doing that as much as possible. So, between this stream and the next, I'll probably go be adding the Waystones or something similar to this, and just give myself the ability to at least get around the massive world in semi-reasonable time frames. Sure, I could build, like, nether highways and so on and so forth, but it would really be a extraordinarily long process that I don't personally have the patience for, honestly. It's part of why I play modded Minecraft as opposed to regular Minecraft most of the time, just because there's just more options and things to do. That is very strange. Got most of the things I want for the moment, other than jungle wood. It's going to be a process, I feel like. Just trying to get a hold of more jungle wood. Oh, that didn't kill me. That's... I have to try harder. Because, on the one hand, being able to return from wherever you go just by hitting the ground too fast is nice. On the other hand, it does still feel kind of very incorrect to just intentionally kill yourself for the sake of progression. I've encountered games where that was just apparently part of the plan set up for the game is, oh, you have to lose fights, or at least these specific fights, in order to progress, and it's always felt clunky and weird to you know, want to fail, let alone actively trying to fail when you set yourself up wrong and you get stuck with you're supposed to lose this fight to progress, and if we didn't actually calculate you, or calculate decide what to do if you actually won, and as it turns out, if you just keep going and don't pay attention to what the story is telling you about how you're destined to fail this fight, then you get stuck. Some games can handle that sort of thing. Ones that are smaller indie things tend to not handle it particularly well, especially if it's fairly story focused, because the ideal gameplay at that point is straightforward with maybe some grinding. Not, I wonder what happens if I hit level 30 before the first boss kind of things. Sometimes it's fine. Other times you break everything and sit back and go, oh, I have goofed. I'm actually trying to think of a specific example. I can't remember the name of it. It's a JRPG format game, but I don't remember what it was called. And I just let myself progress probably a lot farther than I was intended to for the point I was at, and things stopped making any sense because I was winning fights that were supposed to be unwinnable, and it just... there wasn't the event to handle that. It just assumed that I failed the fights after winning, and yeah. Funny, don't get me wrong. Very funny. Just kind of a mess. Handy. That's less handy. Okay. Yeah. Let's put away the honey, I guess. Grab the rabbit skins. I will probably want to go ahead and make a second bundle. So, I guess kill a rabbit time and then jump it down the hole so I wake up in my bed. No rabbit skin. Come here, rabbit. Come here, rabbit. Come here. It's 3. I need 6 to do a bundle. Oh, Walter. Cubone is so tiny. That's a baby rabbit. Those don't drop anything. There's some more rabbits over here by Maractus. Apparently, if you go back and get food anyway. I mean, sure, I've got plenty of hay, but resetting the oranberry bushes and collecting the oranberries I was cooking is probably a good idea now. Somebody drop more skin, please. So just babies. 5. It's just cactus. Nothing Maractus. Fampy, which is cute, but not my focus at the moment. Suppose rabbits won't spawn down here in the beach as compared to the desert. Ouch. Cubone. Oh, it's a foot. Looks like it's a very weird looking Flabebe, but no, it's just other weird looking Pokemon. Which doesn't really narrow it down much because most Pokemon are actually kind of weird. They're cute, they're cool, they're fun, but they're also usually kind of weird. Charizard's confusing horn growth thing where it starts off with none, grows a single backswept horn, and then splits off into 2 upswept, still backwards leaning horns. That one's just a little overly weird. Mostly because of how specifically strange it is. It's 2 different types of horn ornamentation on a single Pokemon. My goodness. I don't know if it's having a better schedule because I'm like intentionally streaming at the same time every day that I do stream, or what exactly is causing it, but I've been like getting like more tired more easily late at night since I started doing this than I have like ever before, and it's both kind of nice and kind of annoying. It's oh my goodness. I'm so used to just not being tired until like 4 a.m. and all of a sudden I'm getting like consistently a sort of comfy tired at like 9:30 to 10ish, which is inconvenient but funny. That works, I guess. Crunch, crunch. My goodness. Big yawn. Oh. Let's see. Ditch some more items out of here. That can go up here. That can come out. That can go in. What comes up here? Those cacti like could do so as well. Don't actually have any rest in here. Link cable. Let's go plant the vivichokes because I do need to actually grow them. Maybe I'll build my healer finally. Because that takes a vivichoke. And yep, I gotta do with the thing. Yeah, there. Make a max revive out of it, which means I need some regular revives, which involves heal powder, which is revival herb, which is another one I need to grow. Mixed with the honey to get the revive to get free of those. Oh my goodness. Building this healer is going to kill me. Alright, let's start clearing out the area for the Pokemart. I think it said I was going to do it up here or something. I don't mind it being fairly widespread away from the Poke Center, although I should double check the size on this thing. Got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 15 by 11 is fine. Should probably make myself a shovel. I am yawning while I talk. Let's keep this low to the ground so it's not quite as janky as Focus Center feels sometimes. This one's going to go like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, yawning. This is going to be very strange. I tried this earlier and I didn't feel like I was going to do it right, so I put it off. Now we're going to do it much lower to the ground than I tried last time, which means even more digging. I don't think I can safely get away with doing that. It's not horrendous. Probably should dump items before I actually get too carried away there. Why are you in my house? Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. Oh no. Oh my goodness, I have too much stuff and too little space to put it in. Apparently one of the buildings I need to build is a storage building, something like a warehouse, I guess. God, I can only imagine having to make that fairly large. Um, hmm, that's gonna be fun. I might add the not chisels and bits, but chisel mod or its reconstruction or whatever, just for the sake of block variety, because more colors, more patterns is always good. Makes it a lot easier to be like, okay, I want to do a Poke Center floor. What do we have that comes close to that? Well, here's yellow and gray. That's close enough to yellow and orange, isn't it? Even better, here's yellow and orange and other stuff like that, where I'll at least have some sort of, hey, let's go with this. It actually fits the theme I'm looking for. Um, Beyond that, let's see. Pokemon's going up there against the hill. Do the warehouse off to the right? Over by where I have that little escape vent from the mines or something? I don't really want to go through the process of building a storage system, so I don't think I'm going to bother with making a dumping point down in the mines where I can just throw all my stuff into a minecart, send it up, and not have to care. That sounds honestly like entirely too much work. Um, Trying to think of what else I can do with all this. Easy solution is just stacks of boxes or chests to make it look like big old warehouse. Um, oh my goodness. I am very tired. I think part of it's the whole introvert thing. I'm using up social energy despite the fact I'm not directly interacting with pretty much anyone on most of these. But on the other hand, I sometimes have an easier time in like an actual in-person environment than I'm having at this exact moment. So I'm thinking it's just I am that freaking tired, which is very annoying. Ow. Um, what can we do with this stuff? Suppose I might as well set up the tree farms. So dark oak, spruce, oak, acacia, cherry. Let's go like way over here and do that. Some food. This is more important than the digging up the spot to stick the Pokemart. Oh, can't cheat with that. Do that twice. Because 42 sounds like a good number here. It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything, of course. That's why it sounds good. Um, Big dark oak tree can go off, I guess, at the side of the oak trees. Hello, Mudspray. It. 7. I feel like 7 should be a decent distance. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Um, Hey, Minecraft music. Let's see. Cherry blossoms, I guess, can go over here. I don't know how big they get on their own. 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, five. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wooloo. Captured all black wooloo. Oh god, I had the horrifying idea of what if you did this shiny dicks? I think I would rather kill myself. That sounds horrendous. Not even the fun kind of horrendous where it's just guaranteed failure that you're just told, hey, just go with it. I'm sure you'll be fine. And you just doodle for the sake of comedy and all of it. It's just... Oh my god. So very tired. Alright, now let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely the singular dark oak sapling, I guess. Might as well keep it. Ow. Everything. Still a bit sore from planting the trees, apparently, because just tweaked something in my leg and it was very not good. Mm-hmm. Ow. Is it already grown? It is. Spread those out. I have a feeling that lots of vivid chokes is a good thing to have. Let's see here. Push that thing up. Changing positions midstream. Great streamer behavior, yes. Totally with like any level of professionalism that I shouldn't have, what with this being 18th stream? Something like that. I have some idea of what I'm doing, and I'm still doing it at the bare minimum level because it's, you know, I don't have followers in any sort of large margin. I don't have viewers in any sort of large margin. So, like, integrations and whatnot doesn't mean anything yet. I am mostly just flying by the seat of my pants down the highway. Although at the moment it's more like a back road and I'm going 4 miles an hour. People are like grandmas are passing me with their walkers and questioning whether or not I'm actually driving. I'm okay with that. The idea of rushing into something like this is horrifying. I'm mostly fighting my social anxiety to do this at all. I'm enjoying it, surprisingly. I'm not really sure how I'm managing to enjoy what is, reasonably speaking, against most of how my brain works. But here we are, and it's somehow not going horribly, horribly wrong. Um, kind of want to build a gym, do something like, because the battlefield is a very nice effect, so building one of those would be fun. Um, I know the mirror effect building method, so I could do something like that. Just kind of brainstorming ideas for how I want to do some of this stuff. Um, Big mirror effect gym would be nice. Do with like black and white stained glass to get a proper effect, and just build the room twice over itself. Once the regular direction, once the exact opposite, without the proper barrier in between the two layers, and run glass along the inside of the lower layer so it all fits in right, or do it on the top and make it so it's like reflected ceiling, so I could have the floor not be clear. Instead, you look up and you can see the whole of the battlefield above you, even if there won't be any, character reflections, which is fine. That might work better. I think I like the down version better just because it technically takes up less space since it's going down. The up one is like you use like the bottom three-ish floors of what would function better as like an apartment building. Oh no, it would have to be like 10 to 15 blocks high in the room for it to feel comfortable. And then you do the same 10 to 15 above or below that. So it's going to be either 20 blocks, which is fairly easily doable if a bit time consuming, or 30 blocks, which is a bit less so. And I can't get the idea of doing the mirror finish floor or ceiling out of my head. Mm. Oh no, I'm gonna have to build a mirror gym. I love the sound of it, but oh my god, the effort. Um, Big warehouse, do it in style of like, I don't know, stuff from Black and White 2, where you can go up to the one big blue building. That would be interesting enough. Probably build it out of copper and just let it go to patina naturally, because max patina is just fully oxidized copper. It looks like it'd actually be a decent color for that. I would prefer it if it was a darker teal, but there isn't really a metallic dark teal that you can use for Minecraft. Um, do it over like Blackstone Road kind of thing. Well, that could be nice. Do like a big Blackstone Road between the various buildings of this town I'm working on. Do I have any extra signs still? I think I do not. Yeah. So, Blackstone Road's a big old copper warehouse, probably like, oh god, like 30 by 50 something interior, which means 2 blocks more for the width and length, and let's do a peaked roof instead of a curved roof for it. something probably, I don't know, smooth stone slabs, I think. Let's do slab. Yeah, probably smooth stone or andesite slabs. Big gray concrete floor with. I could do like white concrete to do like the lines drawn on it and all that stuff. It could look pretty nice. I might have to go even bigger than 30 by 50, which that is going to be so much more copper than I really want to have to deal with. But at the same time, it would look very cool once it's done turning to patina, because otherwise it'd be very speckled for a month. That might be worth turning on cheats just to turn on like incredibly high speed tick or random ticks, just so it self patinas at a rate that doesn't leave me having to stick around base like this or leave the game running while I'm away from it for like a couple days so it can finish turning everything to patina. Does it go faster in water? I looked that up, I guess. Minecraft copper oxidizing. Uh, oh my god, and it would keep it self-oxidizing unless I turn it up too, because the oxidation rate is determined by the surrounding 4 blocks, which means that the less oxidized it is, the less it oxidizes. Which is cool. I didn't know that. Oh my god, the time sink. I like these ideas of big projects and building big things that are like actually functional. Like I'm gonna turn the Poké Center functional. I'm gonna turn the Pokemart functional. I might even put it on like the other side of the warehouse. Oh no. I wanted to do like a warehouse slash apartment building thing for the for villagers so I can have an entire town in a reasonable space. Oh my god, building like an apartment building and a warehouse. That is going to be a dramatically more arduous task than building the Poké Center. That might actually be something I build off stream, like I collect resources and start building the thing. I don't really want to cheat because like, I already got keep inventory on. I've already got the Bane Miner. Going beyond that just feels wrong. But at the same time, oh my god, the building process. Do like 5 by 7 or like 7 by 10 rooms for villagers. So it feels like an apartment complex instead of a prison. And even that's going to look small when you're standing in it. 7 by like 4 by 7 by 10 or something for each room. It's doable. 20 rooms like that with like build some stuff that's like amenities and whatnot in between, because I could probably get away with doing that if I'm going to build something that ridiculously ginormous. Do like 20 rooms or something. Try to pair up some villagers, probably, so it's like, oh, look, families or whatever. I've wanted, have like a couple of the rooms be connected, so it's like, oh, look, a larger family. I can see myself doing it, even though I think that might be a terrible, terrible idea. But much like the, oh, suddenly want to do a mirrored gym, I don't think I can stop myself from doing it. Oh no. The ambition is strong. It's just the body and the mind that are weak. I'm gonna go and work on some plans for how I want to build this stuff. Because I can't get the idea of either of them out of my head, so dramatically large warehouse in order to store things so I don't have to care about storage space. Dramatically large apartment building, basically, so I can have a village that is not going to be eaten by zombies the moment I turn around. Massive apricorn farm because it needs to be 7x7 spaces for each tree in order to make them actually harvestable, and it probably should be 9x9 so that there's enough space for the apricorns to actually fall and not get stuck on things. And I'd probably want to have 3 of each color, of which there are 7? Red, black, yellow, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 7 colors. So that is 7x3x9 probably is going to be the required size. By 7 tall, I think. So 9x7. Oh my god, the amount of space this is going to take up is ridiculous. 9x7, so that's 9x7x7. Every single tree on its own is going to take up 441 blocks. Oh my god. I mean, sure, that sounds like a lot, but it's also fairly small. It's 9x7x7. Or 7x7x9, really. 7 wide, 7 deep, 9 tall. Sorry, 9. Oh no, it needs to be 9x9x7. So 567 blocks. So a 9x9, 7 high. I need to have 3x7, 5x7, 35 of them. 19,000 blocks. Oh my god. That is horrifying. What's the overall size even of this thing? Because it's 9x9s by 5 deep by 7 wide. 2,835 blocks as a rectangle. Oh my god. Like, you're removing like the 5 to see how wide the thing is. 567 blocks wide for the apricorn farm, and 405 blocks deep. I'm fairly certain that would show up on the largest scale maps you could possibly make in Minecraft by default. The wrap it in paper 5 times? 6 times? Something like that. That would stand out wildly against everything you ever possibly do. That isn't like literally building the Great Wall of China or like a freaking castle or something. And I need to build that. And I want to build like 10 by, we'll call it 12 by 10, or 12 by 9, I guess, for the rooms to include the walls, by 10, so 1,080 blocks wide for the apartment building, 216 blocks wide. I might just shoot myself. Oh my god, that's gonna be a trip and a half. I'm probably going to do it too, which means I'm gonna have to do a bunch of this off screen. Well, I guess I have a reason to do more things on here. Anyway, ridiculous planning aside, it's been about an hour. I've gotten very little done other than at least finally finding the mesa. Suppose we'll let it go here. I'm going to do some planning off of this, and maybe go start terraforming the acres. I think literally acres of area I'm going to be turning into an apartment building, a warehouse, and a supermax farm. Probably want to stack the farm with like a berry farm above it, so they're not taking up even more room. And it might even do like the warehouse is like instead going to be like underneath the apartment building, underground warehouse kind of thing. That could be kind of cool. Build a big ramp to it, like I could drive trucks in there that don't exist because I have not put in like the Flans mod or anything like that with vehicles. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here before I talk myself into doing something even more complicated. Have a good night, anybody. Oh my goodness.